Christmas time again, and time for all those beautiful lawn ornaments to start popping up all over your neighborhood.
Particularly those little light-up reindeer that are made out of wire and move.
And we love so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so about 6 years ago, I took two of those animated lawn ornaments and put them together so they were mating. And gave them to my brother as a present. He put them in his front yard and somebody drove over it. It was actually quite humorous and funny. Today we're going to show you how to make the fornicating reindeer. Now I have to say this is not appropriate for little kids. So.
And if someone drives through your yard in order to run them over,
we're not responsible.
Yeah.
But you know, we're not telling you to put them in your front yard. So to do this, you'll need two generic animated lawn ornaments, and make sure that you get obviously the doe and the buck.
Both of them need to move in some manner.
Yeah, the doe, typically the head goes up and down.
Or side to side.
No, that's the buck. Just the doe's goes up and down,
yeah.
And the buck's goes side to side. And the reason we need that is the direction that the motors are actually laid for doing this. Now, these are ones that we get from
a generic mart.
Yes, a generic mart, and it costs about $25 each. These, as you can see, they have almost no lights on them. So what we did was we spent an extra $3 to get the GE, 100 light bulb white generic set. We'll put it on there to make it look prettier. So, with that said, we also need tools.
We do. We are going to need a multi-use screwdriver. It can do Phillips and straight head. You also need needle nose pliers, wire cutters, Lyman's pliers.
I think you should redo this section. Sorry.
Zip cords. Zip ties, not cords. Wrong thing. Thick wire. We used this. It just needs to be thick and sturdy. It might sound like that when you drop it.
We're using the insulation wire because it's nice and sturdy, and I just happen to have a box of it already.
We need electrical tape and...
That's just plain white electrical tape for marking.
Okay.
We're going to use that for hiding, so you can hide your electrical tape.
Yes.
Okay. With that said, we have already unpacked the female ears. Now, or actually we've already unpacked both ears. They come kind of folded up like this. Normally the head is inside it, but that takes forever to get it out, so I already did that for us. And they simply, the head hangs on there.
The legs get tangled up quite regularly.
Yeah, they do. And the legs go like this. Normally, this bar would go up and through there to make the head go up and down. We are not going to be using this bar or this motor for this head. What we're going to do is we're going to tie this head stationary, and actually why don't we go ahead and start with that. Use the large zip ties.
Oh, large zip ties, sorry.
Yeah, the small zip ties are for pretty much just for the holding lights on. The larger zip ties are for anything somewhat structural. And once again, this is...
They can be trimmed off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an exact science.
Okay.
And we'll do more of that later. We're also going to zip tie these legs right here, here, and here sturdy. Normally you use these flimsy things that never ever work right. We're going to cut those off, and we're just going to zip tie them right into place permanently. So why don't we go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, we have now installed zip ties holding the head on, keeping the legs in place, and we've cut off all the leg supports that come across to here. There's these two inner leg supports that hold those together. We will use those, but not right this second. The next part is, if you look at this motor, This is just a simple little geared motor. Spins around nicely. Has 2 bars it goes through. On this one, there's a cotter pin. I don't know if you can see it or not.
You probably can't,
But
but it's small and silver.
we're going to pull it out so we can release this. And this is where we're going to attach the bug onto. The next part will be preparing the bug, which is a little bit more
In depth.
Now, once again, we're going to cut off these 4 dangling pieces of junk. But in this case, we're not doing it to hold it steady. We're doing it so we can actually move the buck into the position that he needs to be in. We're also going to cut here and here so his legs can go further back. And I'll just show real quick. We're going to cut it right here at this joint. And now you'll see this one piece comes down like this. I'm just going to take the lineman's pliers. And this. Up. So now the leg can go further back. And I'm actually going to bend it a little bit more.
Your reindeer may need some help standing still at this point.
Yeah, this part, it is very, very helpful to have somebody holding it for you, or a vise or something along those lines to hold it with. Okay, and then
Be careful.
bend this back up. We're going to zip tie it in place, and then we're going to use some of the white PVC tape that we have to cover up the edge so people don't cut themselves on it. It's really, like I said, this is not rocket science, and it's not a work of art that we're doing here. It's more of a very humorous decoration. Okay, we're back, and what we have done is finish zip tying back and bending back the legs so they can go all the way back.
Because he is a pretty princess.
And we went ahead and cut off all the braces that went back and forth. Then we also, if you can see on Bucky, that we bent his legs out so he can straddle her. Now, what we're going to do, hey still, is, I don't know if you can see this little hole where the bracket used to be, right here. We're going to take this piece of wire and we're going to basically make a hook and tie it into the feet. So Bucky can be right there. And Elizabeth, if you'd be kind enough to zip tie his feet into place. And
Loosely?
Yeah, just loosely is fine.
That's impressive.
We're back.
No, too cheesy for you. Okay, so what we've done is attach this, zip tie, tape.
Yeah. We also twisted the wires around and stuff so it doesn't come loose even with the tape. Just...
One thing we did do, because while we're off camera, what we realized we should do, is we added another zip tie right here so the feet don't come up.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Next, for our fornicating reindeer, we need to make the drive assembly. So what I did is I bent a piece of wire, and you can see it is a right angle with a loop. And I should have probably thought about this before.
Right.
How do we do this?
We're going to turn them around.
Okay. We're going to take this We're going to put it right through here, and then we're going to bend back. Can I have the needle nose pliers, miss?
Needle nose pliers.
We're going to bend back the wire. You know, Elizabeth, you are being cheesier than normal.
Yes.
That is saying something impressive. Okay, so we're going to bend this back so it can't slip out while it's running. Then we're going to
Lift them up. We need to rotate the deer first because you can't see them.
That was bad.
Hey,
There.
you
Okay.
learn special things in improv. Cheese is one of them.
That is some stinky cheese. Stinky cheese. Alrighty, so now we're just going to bend this around and back over so it doesn't come over when somebody tries driving over it. Before you say it can't happen to you, it can happen. We're going to zip tie this closed.
Should we use the black tape to mix it up this time?
You want to use black tape to zip it up? Or mix it up? Yes, let's use the black tape.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up. Getting funky here.
Okay. Your cheese is going over the cheese scale.
I'm sorry. Some really not.
This is
You having difficulties?
No.
Okay. While she's doing that, we're going to hook the power for this motor into the power for this motor. So when we plug in this motor, everything will turn on. Later on, when we're fixing up the lighting, we'll zip tie everything up, make it nice and neat and clean. We're going to leave this black because it makes it hard to see against all the white. And we're actually, I think we might actually be done. Now, let's give it a try and see.
You might want to put those front legs on the table.
Oh, good point. Point taken.
There.
Yes. Completely beautiful and appropriate. Now, please appreciate that his head still goes back and forth, which is just fantastic. Now, while we're off camera, what we're going to do is put on a whole bunch of extra lights because it's very important to make the fornicating reindeer extra visible for all of your neighbors to enjoy.
As long as they're mature enough and able to be able to see it.
The fornicating reindeer made our 14-year-old son pass out.
Did you really just pass out?
He stood up and I saw him laying on the coffee table. I just thought he was trying to not laugh to death.
Hey, 14-year-old son, you passed out from fornicating reindeer. That's awesome. This is going on YouTube, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the fornicating reindeer. We're going to put lights all over it just to make it more visible and zip tie it up and make it a little bit cleaner. So, give us a few and we will have that done with the magic of editing.
a little
Yes.
bit.
One, go.
And this is the finished product.
Yep, we've added some lights and here we go. A beautifully, tastefully tacky fornicating reindeer.
Yes. Don't display it in your neighborhood if there's small children. It's just
Done.
not the best idea.
So next time, we'll do fornicating elves.
No, we are not.